Hi, really glad to see you today. And I don't know if you guys are catching it, but the Walk for Peace is quite amazing. Monks have been walking from their center in Fort Worth, Texas. They're now in South Carolina and they're making their way to Washington, D.C. in the middle of next month. And it's been inspiring to watch them walk this incredible distance, just one step at a time, using mindfulness with their only motive, sole motive, is to bring awareness to peace. And that coming back into the moment has been just so exquisite because most of my life has been rush, rush, almost like a terrorized rush to try to find some kind of safety and soothing and accolades from the outside in. So it's beautiful to come back to what is real, which is only this moment, the here, the now, this moment, and a peace-filled mind, which comes from a heart that is aware of breath and the fact that this moment is all there is. So I wanted to respond. There have been a few comments on the last podcast with Alec Holmes. I think it came out last week. And it was a follow-up. Alec left his corporate job earlier last year. I think it's been about 10 months now that he's been out. And he sort of wants to document his process, trying to help others that are considering the same. And for Alec, his experience was he made a conscious decision and he left the corporate world. He realized it was not a fit for him. He wasn't willing to conform in the way that he was being asked to. And he had side hustles going on, but they weren't enough really to make a living or support him in the way that his job had. So, in my opinion, he was very brave and he decided to walk away because it just didn't fit his being, his well-being. And so the follow-up was interesting, but it brought some questions up from people about the value of leaving your job cold turkey. And is that really the way to go? And all I can do is share my own experience because most of my career has been self-generated. I had two corporate jobs, one with Fox and one with a large talent agency called ICM. And I didn't fit in either of those boxes. The corporate world just, it wasn't for me. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why people were posing and staying until 7 o'clock at night when they were done at 3:30, obviously. Just the whole structure, the whole rules and regulations and sort of dog eat dog mentality wasn't for me. But I have to say, I was never strong enough to cut the cord on my own. I had to have it cut for me. So, in my first job, I was very unhappy in the circumstance, even though it was a great opportunity to learn. And my personal rights were violated. My boss sexually harassed me. And I confronted him on the harassment, and he promptly fired me. And so, in that circumstance, I don't know that I would have been brave enough to have left. I was newly sober. I had just ended a relationship where the gentleman was holding the purse strings, and I was relying on that income to help support me. Um, and I think I had 2 months of cash in the bank living in New York City and living alone in an apartment. So I didn't have a trust fund. I didn't have a family to lean on that I felt comfortable leaning on. So I made the decision to do what I needed to do um, to make a living. And I was offered another similar job to the one that I had when I was fired. But I knew I couldn't serve in that capacity any longer and be true to my heart. So I decided to trust the process and do the best I could to earn on my own. And I started to match celebrities with brands. And I remember sitting in my studio apartment realizing no one was going to drop a check in my account, that if I was going to make this work, I was going to have to get word out about my capability and my offering. And that was a huge insight. And I began to get very creative in the way that I did that. And I was very accountable each day in doing that. I worked very hard, almost to the point of exhaustion, and I was very isolated. And I wouldn't recommend that, but that's where I was working from at that point. That's the level of self-love that I had, and that's what I knew. So, um, miracles happened, one thing after another, and within 18 months, I had made six figures. So I knew my own self-belief was really important. I understood, maybe not didactically, maybe not the way that I could verbalize it then, but I knew that I was a powerful creator and that if I put myself out there and believed in my ability, that I would be led, whether that was to success or to getting another job, but at least I was trying. And I really didn't work backwards from there. I mean, I took the job at Fox because it was a huge opportunity. And I had worked my way from matching celebrities to brands into doing the same thing in the television field. They call that a talent producer. And then from there into full producing television programming. But I took the job full-time staff with Fox because it was an invitation that I felt like I really wanted to explore. But very shortly into it, not even 4 months into it, I knew, uh-oh, yeah, this is this is not my bag again, even though it was interesting to help launch a major cable network. Just that the working in that structure didn't fit. And I was offered another opportunity that was not a staff position. It was an independent contractor position out in LA, which required a move, but I knew intuitively that was the move to follow. And I think I want to put a plug into following that small voice that's inside of you, inside of your heart. I think when I really become able to do that, and lots of energy from the outside of my being works against that. Although I think times have started shifting and we're more attuned to that intuitive guidance than we've ever been before. But each time I followed that, it's led me to the right place and a place of more abundance, more success, more connection with my fellow human beings. And so if you're out there and you're really unhappy in your position to a place where you're compromising your values, your health is being impacted. Even though I wasn't strong enough to do it, I was fired. It was done for me. I would think about strongly leaving. And if you can't, start to think of what you can do independently to start bringing in income. Start to ask the universe each morning, universe, how can I create my highest happiness in every area today? And please guide me as it comes to my offerings and being of service for financial reward beyond what I can even imagine. There is merit in that. There's value in that. And I think we've been trained away to that. But I feel this is also a personal decision and it is a process. You may not be able to leave that corporate system because the fear is greater. Start to think about ways that you can start to increase your independent income and then just start to ask for guidance, do a little writing, try to find someone else that may be able to mentor you that has extricated themselves successfully, and just trust and know that you're powerful beyond what you've been led to understand, and that there is possibility and that there is ways to create. And you're not alone. We are in this together. So I hope this has helped. I hope you have a great day. And remember, we are in this together. Take good care, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you want to see that conversation, it's on this channel. It's in the playlists of podcasts, and there's two conversations with Alec Holmes. The first, where we talk about his initial leading, and the second was the 10-month follow up. So you can listen to his experience about leaving the corporate system.